questions for the show.
Richard, what's a winner being traded like? Obviously, that's not a development anybody's kind of expecting to have come along.
Yeah.
So when it falls on you, kind of what's the first reaction, and what's the winner been like adjusting?
Yeah, I think for one, as far as my career goes, I'm super pumped for this opportunity. This organization's been nothing but great to me so far, and I'm excited to get going. When you think about the life changes that moving to a different organization comes with, I moved out of my apartment in Boston 4 days before I got traded, and all my stuff was in storage in Boston. I actually just moved it 3 days ago, so I drove from Boston to St. Louis this week. So so logistically it's crazy, but I'm super pumped for the opportunity and just being able to be here for this organization.
2 or 3 days?
2 days.
Two.
Yeah.
You dealt with the numbness in your arm. Are you fully all the way back? I know you were throwing in Boston earlier this offseason. Where are you?
Yeah, I'm back healthy, feeling great. Been throwing my pins. What kind of stunk at the end of the year last year was I was building up and the season was cut off, so it was kind of like, hey, just go home kind of thing. And I wanted to go home, but also wanted to finish off my rehab. And now I feel like I'm back and feel comfortable enough to keep throwing and have a healthy spring training.
Andre, what's a winter like after a year where you make your debut, you have your first taste of the big leagues? How different is this winter compared to previous winters? What do you take out of it?
Not too different in what I've prepared, but I think what's different is how I wanted to go into my training, knowing what I needed to work on, and that kind of gave me that struggle towards the end of the season last year kind of gave me what I needed to work on this year. And I don't think it's too much of a reinvent the wheel, but it was just doing what I do well, and kind of just getting confidence and momentum going into this spring training.
I think part of that was just big league hitters see you once, and then there's video on you, and then guys learn, and you have to adjust back. Is that about how that goes for you?
Definitely. I think I fell into a lot of patterns last year. They knew I wanted to go to certain pitches at certain counts, and I mean they're smart as ever up here. So much video and so much technology up here. They probably know what I'm going to throw before I go to throw it. So I think just working on that changeup, getting confidence and throwing it in the zone, and then just keep throwing the slider as much as that.
Richard, what has that part been for you when you move from one team to another team? Are you met with kind of report on you, some plans that the new team wants to see? What's that interaction been like?
Yeah. One of the coolest things from this whole trade experience was just how welcomed I felt in a sense of, I was getting texts from guys. I think I met everybody on staff, it felt like, over phone. And then this week it's like, oh, hey, finally, nice to meet you face to face. And but as far as the report goes, a lot of it was like, hey, where are you at? What are you working on this off season, and how can we kind of move around that or kind of switch gears? But a lot of it I was working on, working on a changeup, working on usages of different pitches, and so it was kind of like hey, we're all on the same page. Let's keep going.
Are you going to go to Florida in the near future here? What's
Yeah.
your plan with Jupiter?
Yeah, heading down on the 1st, get down, start meeting everybody, get to some warmer weather, and get ready for some baseball.
Is that pretty standard for what you want to do, or is that related at all to doing a new team as well?
A little bit of both. I was planning on going to Fort Myers around the same time, so just switched over to other side of the state.
Richard, what have your conversations with Dusty been like? Has he talked about things he likes, things he wants you to work on, and things like that?
Yeah, a lot of it is just how can I fit into this program, and what the philosophies are pitching wise. I'm trying to go from one organization and from how we were doing things to how I don't change my who I am as a pitcher, but being able to maximize it as a Cardinal. And that's something that I think we're gonna have better conversations when we're in person, and on a mound too, with spikes on. But the conversation's been good so far.
You know Hunter Dobbins better than anybody in this room. How would you describe him? What do you like about his makeup?
Yeah, he's a competitor. He's done a great job of getting to the big leagues and kind of putting his mark out there. He had success before he got hurt, and he does a good job of being confident and being comfortable out on the mound.
One more. How would you describe Dustin May? Did you get to know him I know he came over at the trade deadline.
Yeah, I got to know him a little bit. It almost felt like it wasn't like we were teammates, but it was like I was hurt, and then he was hurt, and then it was kind of just a little weird. But we had some meals together and got to know him a little bit, kind of outside of the game of baseball. And he's a great guy, and I'm excited to share a locker room with him again.
Richard, big knock on wood on this one, but this is a team that didn't have any big league pitcher have an arm injury last year, if I saw.
Sign me up.
Right, well, so that's what I'm asking. Like, is that a thing that guys notice around the game, and is that a thing that, how much can that be taught? Like, what can an organization do to protect guys that way?
Yeah, honestly, I never really thought about it till this past year. Never dealt with an injury in pro ball, and now I hope I never do again. So I think going to this organization, they got to be doing something right. Whether that's arm care, whether that's the strength and conditioning side, or the combination of all of it. And and like you said, knock on wood, like I don't ever want to deal with an injury again. I want to make all my starts, throw however many innings this year, and be healthy and keep going.
Andre, for your season, when you talk to guys, friends, and other organizations and stuff, is that a thing that pitchers kind of talk about, like the way the teams are taking care of you all and what you all can do career-wise?
Yeah, absolutely. I think a lot of the guys, when they get Rule 5'd over here, things that they do differently. But yeah, I think we kind of talked throughout the clubhouse of what we do differently here and what they do better over in other organizations and what we do better. But yeah, the staff's amazing here. Like the guys that take you, like they want to take care of you. You don't ever feel like you go into there and you're like bothering them. Like they're going up to you and be like, hey, anything I could do for you? Like just it's awesome. It's a good feeling.
Andre, what was that like living that? Like Jeff mentioned, there you guys didn't have an arm injury all year. That was something everybody knew. Was it unspoken? You didn't want to, or was it like talked about? Like what the plans were?
It was definitely brought up because no one ever wants anybody to get hurt, but everybody knows that in this game, that's how people get opportunities and how people get to get moved up and make their debuts and stuff. But when we were up here, I felt like I had enough opportunities, even with those like non-injuries. And if anybody went down, then it was just like, no one really talked about like, oh, he's not getting hurt. Like no one's getting hurt. Like why aren't people getting hurt? Because I feel like you're kind of a bad teammate if you're like, why is no one getting hurt? So, but yeah, no, it was definitely talked about. Like everybody was like, dang, they're doing a good job in there. Like they're keeping us healthy.
Did that help kind of buy in on the schedule? Because part of it is definitely on the pitcher side. Like you have to commit to what they're talking about doing.
Yeah, definitely. You see our plan on the big screen as soon as I walk in, especially for me. Mm-hmm. If I know that they do a good job here and the guys know what they're talking about here, I'm definitely going to buy in. Like when I got here and they're telling me, okay, first thing you want to do is go look for your name and see what you got like for that day. I'm like, a lot of people, you could go up there and go, yeah, I got that today, and they just sit in the clubhouse the rest of the day. But you could also go in there and be like, kind of speaks for itself. The pitchers are healthy here, and we had a pretty good bullpen last year. So I think, why not go in there and look and see? Like, I felt great. Felt great all year. Like just how they had me doing my lifting and how they had me doing the warm-ups. So yeah.
Andre, with a young bullpen and all of the moving parts, especially around the trade deadline last year, is there a specific kind of buzz going on in that group of how competitive this spring is going to be around jobs like the setup and the closer roles and any long relief opportunities?
Yeah, they're not really like spoken as much, but I think that you could definitely tell like there's going to be jobs out of spring training that are going to have to be earned, especially with last year. As much as we rotated and carouseled through those, there was like 7 or 8 of us, like just kind of going up and down and up and down and up and down. But I was just kind of happy to be here at some points, so it was never really a big deal about that. But no, I think there's going to create a lot of opportunity this year, even more so. So kind of happy to see that.
Andre, you were having an exceptional season at AAA, not as consistent here in the major leagues. You talked about getting into patterns, maybe not using your slider enough. Did you change your approach when you moved up? Did you think about the major league hitters differently than the AAA hitters, or how did you handle that transition?
Yeah, so I kind of tried to dig into why I was having so much success down there as opposed to up here, and I think it was just a confidence thing. Like down there, I felt like as soon as I stepped on the mound, there was no one that could hit me. And up here, I don't want to say I gave the hitters too much credit because they are big league hitters, but I honestly put them on a pedestal as more than I should have, and I shied away from what I wanted to do and I leaned a lot on that slider, and I got very, very predictable because I went back into a comfort zone in that. So I think this next year is just about attacking and pounding and getting ahead, because when I first got up here, I was just getting ahead, and I was just like, I have nothing to lose, but it's like no one's ever seen me. I'm going to throw everything I have. Then it got to like, okay, they hit the fastball. I'm just going to stick to a bunch of sliders, or getting into a pattern. So I went into this offseason definitely and kind of figured it out that it was just a confidence thing. I had the same stuff going up and down. It was just when I went down there, I was just like, yeah, no one's hitting me. So I kind of have to have that same mindset up here.
You mentioned your fastball and your slider, but you've also flashed a pretty interesting changeup in the past. Is that incorporating that in your repertoire at the major league level? Is that going to be a big point of emphasis, or how does the changeup play in?
Oh, absolutely. I think my struggle, not last year, but the year before, was lefties. I mean, I got righties out, not easily, but for me, I felt like I got righties out pretty easily. Yeah, getting that changeup just kind of changes their approach, so they're not really like sitting anything inside, because everything I was throwing them was inside. Just getting them to change their eye levels to the outside part of the plate and landing it for a strike. That's a lot of what I did this offseason, was getting even more in the zone because I was throwing it under.
Yeah, well, I want to engage the fans as much as I can. I'm still the new guy. I want to try and be somebody that people cheer for, because I'm not going to throw a perfect game every single time. If I could do that, I'm trying to every time, But I want to have everybody rallying around me, and that gives me confidence out on the mound, and that's how all of us are. And so what I wanted to come in. I wanted to greet the fans. Just on social media, it's been awesome for me coming over, and Boston had some very passionate, very awesome fans, and I didn't expect anything different here in St. Louis.
Thank you.
Andre, more question for Andre. Last year in Chicago, there was a doubleheader where you got your first major league win and your first major league save in both of those games. Can you kind of talk about what that day was like and what that meant to you, kind of experiencing both of those, major highs in the same day?
So I had not gotten my first big league strikeout yet, so I was kind of like, and it had been a while. I think it had been like almost 10 innings since I'd gotten my first strikeout. So it was in the back of my head, and it wasn't supposed to be. So going out that day, I'm like, I want my first strikeout, and I think I had thrown like 3 pitches to end like the 6th inning. Got a pop up, and my day was done because we took the lead. And I was like, all right, cool. I mean, I threw 3 pitches. I guess my day's done, but I'm still don't have my strikeout. And we were short on arms the next day, or I'm sorry, like we're in between games, and I kind of knew what Ollie was coming over to ask me. I was like, they're going to ask me if I could throw this next game. I know for sure. I'm like, absolutely. Like I threw 3 pitches and threw like 7 warm-up pitches. Like I'll just take it as I never even went into the game. So that's what I told him. I said, don't worry about like, it was 3 pitches. Like I'll be fine. Like you're good. And I was kind of like, I'm not going to go in the next game. There's no way. And I ended up going in the next game, and it was extra innings. So, yeah, 2-run lead, and I go 2-3-1 lead. I get my first save and the first strikeout on the same pitch, and I was like, that's kind of cool. And then they were talking about it on the broadcast. My mom was calling me before I even get in the clubhouse. And I was just like, so I grabbed the phone, go out there. She's like, do you know what you just did? I'm like, no, not yet. I just haven't even sat down. I haven't even sat down. So he's like, yeah, you're the first person ever to get your first win, first save, and strikeout all in the same day. Like, I was like, that's crazy. That's cool. So, yeah, I have the ball. And then they special stitched my jersey for the debut jersey with that under it, so it's cool.